Good evening and welcome to our Testimonial Tuesday for Tuesday, May 17th, 2016. My name is Vicki Drobness and I'm a Ruby Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide and a Diamond in Qualification. Tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to focus on some marketing techniques. So we don't have a guest, it's just me tonight. So what we're going to do is talk about some things that I learned from a training seminar that wasn't Plexus related, but there was just so much in there that I knew we could easily apply to our Plexus businesses and really to any small business. So I wanted to go over that with you tonight, and I've got a PowerPoint to share with you to kind of give you a visual of what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Give me just a moment. Let me click all the right buttons there and then go over our disclosure, make sure we're all compliant. Hey. And there we go. So this presentation is brought to you by independent Plexus ambassadors and is not sponsored by Plexus Worldwide. The independent Plexus ambassadors and Plexus Worldwide do not claim to cure, treat, or prevent any disease and take no responsibility for personal actions taken by any viewer. Plexus makes no guarantees or projections of income, as such representations may be misleading. Your success depends on your effort, commitment, skills, and leadership abilities, and how effectively you exercise those qualities. All inspirational testimonies and tips should not be considered medical or financial advice and are not representative of Plexus Worldwide. They are tips, inspiration, and motivation based solely on the personal results or opinions of the participants. So, what we're here to talk about is supercharging your marketing in 2016. Now, 2016, here we are already halfway through May, so we're getting to about halfway through the year already, and I know I say this every week, but it still amazes me how fast time flies. But I want to share some of the information that I had learned from a marketing seminar, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. But as you're watching this, I always ask you to think of who do you know? Who do you know that would be interested in making a little bit of extra money, making a lot of extra money, and getting themselves healthy and happy with Plexus. So be thinking of that, jot that down so that you can share this with them later. So it may sound a little bit different to say that this information came from a marketing seminar about marketing Tennessee tourist destinations. I'm on our local Dixon County Chamber of Commerce, the tourism committee, because I love promoting my area. I love being in Dixon County. And I had a chance to go to this seminar that was put on by the Department of Tourism, and it was a free seminar. Hey, they even provided lunch. So, the price is right. But I learned so much, and it was just simple things that we can take that apply to any type of marketing. So think of it as almost kind of like a marketing 101 type course, but I want to take these ideas and share them with you and how you can apply those to Plexus. So the whole idea was about discovering your differential. This was one of the quotes that was shared with us. The aim of marketing is to know and understand the customer so well the product or service fits him or her and sells itself. So this is all about helping people find what works for them. And this applies to our Plexus products as well as the business. So discovering your differential. The definition of a differential is a unique benefit or characteristic that sets you apart and above your competitors in the customer's viewpoint. So what makes you different? What makes you unique? And why should somebody come to you? You want to tie your differential into a problem to be solved. So when we talk about Plexus, we talk about how our products can help people with various things that are going on in their lives, and how you can tie those products in order to help those people find a way of feeling better about themselves as both as health as well as financial. So it's all about solving a problem. And that's the same thing if you go into the grocery store. It's about solving your problem. What am I going to feed my family for dinner? So that everything that we come across is all about solving a problem. Deciding which gas station to use is about putting fuel in your car so you can go somewhere. So this is not just a network marketing thing. And I want people to understand that everything is sales. Everything. I mean, even your kid trying to ask you, Mom, can I go spend the night at so-and-so's house? They're going to give you reasons why they should do this. It's all sales. It's all persuasion. So this is something, but you want to find to tie this back into what we're doing with Plexus, you want to find how to help someone solve a problem. By doing this, what you want to do is create a marketing plan. And this applies to Plexus as well as to any other business. Is a marketing plan is nothing more than setting goals and making a to-do list to get you there. And when you're making that list, you want to have a list. You want to use the list because it doesn't do you any good if you don't use it. You want to love the list. You want to have, this needs to be something that you feel strongly about. And you want to be the list. You want to be doing these things. You want to think about this. That line always reminds me of Miss Congeniality. Be the crown. You are the crown. Because you've got to be this. You've got to believe in yourself in order to be able to succeed at this business or any business that you decide that you want to do. So you want to take a situational analysis snapshot. It's a snapshot in time. In other words, what does it look like today? And I took this from the Plexus back office as a snapshot. This is something that would help you see. This is from the dashboard, so those of you who are not Plexus people, you may not recognize this. But this is from the dashboard. One in the bottom left-hand corner is our qualification section. And this was a snapshot of mine from today. And based on the points that I have so far this month, I show that I'm a gold ambassador. And that's just the way that we get our points throughout the month, and it will rank up. And then it shows how many points that I have, and I didn't put that on there because that's private. And then also your PV is how much in sales have you done this month? Do you have your backup order on? And that's something different we can talk about later. And then how many personally active enrollments you have. And these are the qualifications that you need to be a gold ambassador. You need to have at least 100 points and at least 15 of those outside your primary leg, and then at least 3 personally active enrollments and also as well as having your backup order on. So that's my snapshot today. So you've got to see where you are in order to see where you want to be and how you're going to get there. So you need to then let's look at where you want to be. Same thing. Taking your back office, and you can change, hopefully I don't know if this will show anything, but you can change this and tell to what rank you want to be. And since a lot of people want to get to that first jewel level, I chose the Emerald Ambassador. So you can see that requires 1,500 points, and 375 points of those need to be outside your primary leg. And if this is something that you don't understand, talk with your sponsor. They'll be able to explain that to you. You need to have your backup order on, and you need to have a total of 6 personally sponsored ambassadors. These are 6 level 1s that you personally sponsored. So this gives me a shot. This lets me know I need to be at 1,500 points, and this is how far I am. This is one of the features I love about the new back office, because it's an easy way you can see a snapshot of where you are and then where you want to be. So this is something you've got to know where you are. And I would even just say, be happy where you are. Now, that doesn't mean you're just going to stay there. You want to be happy where you are and be grateful for where you are in order to get to where you want to be. Because if you're not happy with where you are, it can that energy kind of blocks, because you're not grateful for where you are. Be grateful for where you are right now and be happy about that. And that changes the energy. It's kind of hard to explain, but it really does make a difference. So then the next thing you want to do is what's called a SWOT analysis. And not SWAT like in a SWAT team, but a SWOT as in your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. And these, I love this graphic, because these are things that you need to be aware of as you are building your business. You need to know what makes you strong. So what makes you special? Everybody has a different set of talents. For example, one of the things, I used to be a high school teacher. I love talking to people. I love doing things like this. This to me is fun, to be able to share information. But that may not be you. Your strength may be talking one-on-one. That may be your strength, but you do need to go through and decide what are your strengths and then what are your weaknesses. Know that. you want to focus on your strengths. You want to be aware of your weaknesses, but you want to focus on your strengths and build those up, because those are things that are already working well for you. So you want to continue to do that. You do want to work on your weaknesses too, but you don't want to focus on putting all that energy into focusing on your weaknesses, and because really it can bring you down. But you do want to improve, but building up your strengths makes it easier to then maybe go back and tackle a weakness, such as I'm no good, or if you think that you're no good at talking to people, but you are really great about writing information to share on Facebook. So you want to focus on those strengths and continue to do that, but you still want to try to go and focus on not focus is not the word I'm looking for. You want to go and address those weaknesses and start trying to get those to be part of your comfort zone. Go talk to a stranger. Bring up a conversation, talking to somebody in line at the grocery store. Doesn't have to be about Plexus, but get used to talking to people. You want to identify your opportunities. Think about things about, why would somebody pick me? Again, this is talking about your differential. Why me? Why would somebody want to work with you? And focus on that, and in a positive way. What are things that are your strengths, that why people would want to work with you? Are you really good at following up with people? Are you really knowledgeable when it comes to our products? Think about those things and look for opportunities. Think about the opportunities. If you have the opportunity to be involved with a local group, then do that. If you have the opportunity to go share at a hair salon, then go do that. And then look out for the threats. You want to be aware of some potential pitfalls. And so be aware of, I don't want to necessarily say this is a threat, but things that could be a problem, such as making a non-compliant post. If you go in and you start saying, Plexus can cure XYZ disease, that's non-compliant, and that can be a threat not only to your business, but to Plexus in general. So you want to be aware of those as you are going through and making your marketing plan. And then have a statement for your reason for being in business. Why are you doing Plexus? This can be considered kind of your why in a way, but why are you doing this? Is it to make X amount of money? Is it to build a new house? Is it to retire your spouse from work? So this is kind of more of your why, but think about what it is that you want to accomplish with your business. Maybe it's to fund an orphanage somewhere, whatever that is for you. But think about why it is, because that why is what's going to keep you going through the hard times. And as much as I would love to say that this is a lovely Cinderella story, that everything comes out and it's always happily ever after, that's just not the way life works. There are times whenever you're going to have to be able to go further with your business and go through the hard times. And trust me, it's worth it. Relationships. Are these a strength of yours or an opportunity for you? Are you great at forming relationships, or is this something that you can kind of work on? And that can be an opportunity. It doesn't have to be a weakness. It can be an opportunity. But this is relationship marketing, so you definitely want to build on this. If it's not a strength of yours, it's an opportunity that you want to work on. Everything is relationships. We choose our whatever we want to buy based on relationships. We have a friend who says, hey, you need to go down to this new restaurant that just opened up on Main Street because it's an amazing place and I loved it. Well, you trust that friend, so yes, you're going to go try that out. That's the same thing with network marketing. It's all about relationships. You may have a relationship with a specific cashier that you go to at the grocery store and that you speak to. There's a cashier at the Kroger that I go to that I try to get in her line just because I like talking to her. And it's something that you just start building relationships. It's one reason why I like to go there. I also like the fact they have better organic food, but it's a relationship. So I have a relationship with my Kroger, and just other things, other places that you have, but the relationships are key in order to keep you coming back and to keep other people coming back, your relationship with your customers. So think about, who is your ideal customer? Who is that person who would be just the perfect person. We talk about making our list of our Frank's list. Think about those people that you want to work with. We'll say, go through and make a list of 100. And then go through and qualify that list for your top 20. Who are the top 20 people that you would love to work with? That's the beauty of network marketing, is you get to choose who you're going to work with, because you can invite anybody to come in and join the business with you. So you have an opportunity to work with your friends. And that's so much fun to be able to do, to work with people who have some similar ideals, some similar values to you. You get to do that. In a corporate environment, you don't always get that choice. Sometimes you have to work with people you really don't want to. And that's just the beauty of network marketing. Sometimes you get to choose who you want to be on your team. Look who has been coming to see you in the past. Look at the type of customers you already have. Are you working primarily with women from, say, 35 to 55? Are you working primarily with young people from, say, 18 to 35? Are you working primarily with men who have been in the military? Whatever your situation is, look to see who's been coming to see you and think about, okay, if they're coming to see me, I obviously have, this can be my ideal customer, and I can really work with them. Think about it as having a niche market. I think of a friend of mine who is an ambassador in Mississippi, and some of you who are watching may know him. I'm not going to name him by name, but he is a former law enforcement. He's owned a couple of gyms, and so his focus has been, he's also former military, so his focus has been, his niche market is going to talk to men who have been in the military or law enforcement and have some unique health situations due to their job, the stress of the job, some of the things that they've been to. That's his niche market. That may not be my niche market. I may not be the perfect person to go talk to somebody who's been in the military or law enforcement. A few of the ladies on my team are homeschool moms. That's their niche market. They can relate to it. You want to build, again, it's building the relationship. So thinking about where you have a niche market, and then as you go through and you grow your niche market, maybe you could find a new niche market. There's somebody else that you may want to do to work with. For example, I've got several of my former fellow teachers that are on my team, and I also have some former students that are on my team. So I have, they're still tied to me, but they're two different age groups, and they have two different goals of what they're looking for. Some are looking to build some retirement. Some are looking to build a career to where they can stay home with their families. So it depends on what it is they're going, and you always want to help them with their goals. Again, we're helping them solve a problem, but you don't have to stick to just one niche market. You can do multiple ones. As you're making your goals, you want to do SMART goals, and you may have heard of this before. You want to have goals that are specific. You want to say, like I mentioned whenever I was showing you the part from the back office, be specific. What do you want to do? It's just not like, I just want to see how far this will go. No, you want to be specific. I want to be an Emerald Ambassador by, and put a date on it. You need these goals. Where's my next thing go here? There we go. You need these goals to be measurable. And our back office really helps with that, with those two snapshots that I showed you, because it shows you measurable where you are right now and how much is it going to take you to get there. And so you can go through and determine how you're going to get there. You need to have goals that are achievable. So this is something that you can do, but it's going to take some work. You need to actually go talk to people. That's why it's called relationship marketing. But you need to go talk with people. You need to go meet people. You need to share Plexus. People are not going to know about it if you don't tell them about it. But they need to be achievable. They need to be something that you can do. So maybe like achievable would be that you can become an Emerald Ambassador in X amount of time, and set that as a goal for you. You also need to be sure that your goals are realistic. Deciding that you're going to join today and be an Emerald by the end of May, that's not realistic. It'd be lovely if it could happen, and Plexus does make it easier to succeed with network marketing, but it still is not a miracle cure in the health or the business sense. These need to be realistic, so you need to make sure that you are setting these to where because if you set a goal that's unrealistic, the only thing it's going to do is bring you down, and you don't want that. And then you need to make sure that they are timely. Is this something that you can do? Is this something that can be done in the time frame that you are wanting to do this? So you definitely want to make sure that your goals are SMART goals. Then you got to figure out, how do you get there? So the tactics are actionable steps that you'll take to reach your goals. We talk about this would be like your IPA, your income producing activity. How many people are you going to talk to today? How many people are you going to follow up? How many customers are you going to follow up with to see if maybe they're ready to go ahead and take the step to being an ambassador? How many are you planning on doing events? How many events are you planning to do? Are you planning to maybe go do some speaking at a particular business event? Anyway, steps that you're going to take to reach your goals. So like in this particular, to take the river, if you're going, the strategy is to take the river, the tactics are to use a boat. It'd be very helpful to do that. And be flexible with the tactics that you choose. This is primarily in sharing information, maybe on Facebook. Keep a close eye on what works and what doesn't. What posts work? What posts are noticed? What things are people engaging with you on? And notice what that works, and then what doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, either drop it or make it work. If it's something that you really feel strongly about and maybe you need to tweak something, maybe you need to tweak the timing on it. Whenever I was deciding to do Testimonial Tuesday back, I've been doing these for close to a year and a half. Of course, the first couple of them were very sparsely attended because it was getting the word out. But I knew that it was something that would work. And we've built a good following on this. And so this is something that I know works for me to be able to get the word out about Plexus. And we've built an audience that tunes in on Tuesday evenings or goes in and watches the videos afterwards. So this is something that works. And so there were a couple of things that we did initially that were, while it was very interesting information. We shared information about how our products could help certain health conditions. Well, that's not compliant, so obviously it doesn't work. So I had to drop those, and that's fine, because making it work would have not. It was not. Because it wasn't compliant, was not something that we could continue doing. So we just changed our tactics. It's still Testimonial Tuesday. We still make sure that whenever we're sharing the information, we make sure it's compliant. And that's just, you have to change things sometimes, and that's totally cool. It works. Budget, having a budget plan. And not a lot of people in network marketing think about this, and this is really key to being aware of this. We have kind of some quote-unquote free advertising with Facebook and some social media things, but be thinking about some other things that are part of your budget, not just going and spending the money. So think about the cost of your tactics. Are you going to need brochures? I highly suggest brochures. I always suggest business cards. But think about, do you need brochures? By the way, the ones in the back office, ordered those, love them, love them, love them. And they came within like 2 days. And you can have them printed with your name and contact information in there. They're really great. Are you going to do events? How many events are you going to do each month or each year, and decide budget for that money to buy a booth at a vendor fair? Are you going to, when you have those events, are you going to provide food? Make sure you've got that. Are you providing prizes, either for door prizes? Are you providing prizes for your team as you are going about doing contests maybe for your team, some incentives? What type of supplies do you need, even down to your planner? Think about those types of things as you are going through and making your plan for your marketing. Decide what's important to your customer. Are you working with customers who they seem, like I said, be aware of who keeps coming back to you, but are you working with customers who like to try the product first? If so, then you need to budget for having some 3-day trials and having those available to be able to sell those whenever you are talking with somebody. Are you working with people who are dealing with a lot of discomfort? Maybe you're working with athletes who are very active and may feel discomfort after doing a lot of workouts. Well, you may want to get some e-samples. Are you working with people who are maybe ladies who are very interested in having the best hairstyle possible? You definitely want some samples of the body cream. By the way, that stuff works wonders. And so you want to think about these types of things depending on who what's important to your customer. You want to think about, what do you want to accomplish this year? Do you want to do X number of events? Do you want to go travel? Do you have team members spread out all over the United States and that you want to go see them? So that's something to be aware of. If, is there travel involved in that? And this can be of any level. You don't have to be a diamond ambassador to go do traveling. That's up to you. That's the beauty of network marketing, is that you can decide, hey, I'm going to go to XYZ city and because I've got an ambassador there and I'm going to help them do a launch. It's totally up to you if you want to do that. And then deciding how you're going to accomplish this. Is it going to be something that you're going to need to maybe do a little advertising somewhere? Are you going to decide to do maybe a promoted post on Facebook? Are you going to focus on certain social media sites? Totally up to you, but think about how you're going to accomplish this and who you want to work with you. Do you want to do this with your team, or is this something you want to do by yourself? I highly encourage you, if you're going to do any type of events, do them with your team, because they're a lot of fun and there's so much great team building that can happen with that, some relationship building going on. Remember, the sky is the limit, but your budget may not be. And that's okay. This does not require you to invest a ton of money in it. That's not what I'm trying to say. But be aware, because it can be really easy to say, oh, yes, I'm going to buy a thing of these samples. Oh, yes, I'm going to buy a thing of body cream samples. Yes, I'm going to do some other things. And then if you don't ever give them out, then you've kind of wasted your money. So make sure it's going to be something that you're going to do. A plan on paper is only useful if it's put into action, because action changes things. Great, you've got it written down. Now what? You got to put it into action. You got to do something with it. Nothing happens until you do. You've got to be the one that's taking that step forward. Now, I want to talk about, this kind of ties in with the differential that I mentioned before, but talk about your story. So what is your story and how do you tell it? I'm not going to go into the part about it being compliant. That's something that, you can work with your sponsor on if it's something that you have concerns about whether or not it's compliant. But I do want to talk about some things that you want to make sure your story conveys. A good story speaks volumes. You don't have to go through and make it a really super long story. You can make this to where it's something that you are it really does speak volumes. It doesn't need to be really long. It has meaning. This is something that somebody's going to be able to get. You're telling it for a reason. It's not something that you're just putting out there. You're telling it for a reason. It's to help people. It's to help somebody see that they can do this, whatever reason it is. But your story has meaning. It must resonate. There must be something that really grab somebody's attention, that they've got to be able to say, hey, wait a minute, I can relate to this. For example, whenever I first heard about Plexus, at first it didn't resonate with me because I wasn't looking for a weight loss product. That was the way I thought of Plexus. That was what I first heard about. But my friend and sponsor shared a story with on Facebook about somebody that was going through what I was going through, and that story resonated with me because I was there. I had been there. And so you want to find something that can help resonate whenever you tell your story. It leaves them wanting to know more. They want to know more. You don't want to tell the whole story. Think about like movie previews. We can watch movie previews and we can see a good bit of the story, but we don't know the whole thing. Some previews do kind of look like, okay, well, now we know what happens. But you miss a lot of the in-between things. But you leave somebody wanting to know more, because then they'll want to talk with you about how this can help them. It taps into the emotions. Some of the stories that I've seen that people have shared about their journeys with Plexus, they almost make you cry. Think about the diamond documentaries. Go look at some diamond documentaries if you haven't been out there recently to look at those, and see how those can just bring a tear to your eye about people who have succeeded with a business that they had no intention of really even getting started. That we've mentioned before, probably 85% of us started out with the idea of, I'm just going to get my products for the best possible price. And it kind of turned into an accidental business, one that we definitely are really glad that we did. Be who you are. You are unique. Somebody needs what you have to offer. That's key. That's no matter what, in a relationship, in a business, there is a match for you. And there's more in a business, there's more than one match. It doesn't have to be just like a husband-wife type thing where you've got the one person. But you've got to be yourself. Don't try to be something you're not. That's not saying that you don't grow and expand your skills, but be who you are at your heart, and you know what that is. And if you don't, that's what the beauty of personal growth that goes through with network marketing, particularly with Plexus. You get to discover who you are. People are not looking for a cookie cutter type person. They're looking to make a local connection. That's the beauty about Plexus, is that you could be local, and that can be local as in local on your Facebook page, local through your social media, or local with somebody who is working with it. They want that personal touch. It's a dime a dozen. You can go into any type of health food store, drug store, big box chain store, and you can go get vitamins. Yeah, you can get that. But you don't have a relationship with that person or that business to where you can, if you're having questions about it, that you can really go ask. This is part of why network marketing works so well, and the business model is just expanding. I was reading something today that the business model for network marketing is expanding now that people are seeing the value of it. And that they don't want to just necessarily have to go to a store to go get something. They want to have a relationship with the person that they are buying from. Write everything down. So as you're thinking about these things, about what it is that you want to share, write it down, because as you're forming it, you want to make sure that you're covering it, and that you don't forget what you wanted to say. Take your glasses off, and I don't mean like my glasses that I'm wearing now, but take your lens off. You want to look through your customer's lens. Whenever you look at a post that somebody's or that you've done, you're getting ready to share, look at it as through a potential customer or ambassador's eyes would see. Don't look at it through your lenses. So think about it. How would they respond to that? And if you look at it and you think, okay, well, I don't want to be salesy, and this sounds like I'm trying to sell them something. This is something that you wanted to change it. You want to make sure that you're conveying the point you're trying to make, and not look at it through your lens. Big Al talks a lot about this, about whenever you're sharing information about your business, is don't go through and share so much to begin with, because number one, it's too much information to absorb, and as he says, people can find this information out during training. This is not something that you have to know right now. You just have to know, is this a product that I like? Is this a business I could represent? You'll be trained. It's the same thing with a job. If you take a job, you're not going to know everything the minute that you start that job. You're going to learn as you go, and that's the way it is with Plexus. Look at your team culture. Is your team culture open and welcoming to having new team members on board? And if it's not, then that's something you need to change. You need to make your team culture and help to influence it so that people would feel welcome there. Make sure that people feel like they can ask questions. Make sure people feel like they are supported. Make sure people feel like if they come to you that they will be supported, and that they will be encouraged in order to grow themselves. Use all of your senses. Whenever I was teaching writing in school, I would talk about being able to tell about how something smelled, how something looked, how something tasted. So think about, okay, we've talked about with Omega X that you can have the omegas without having the fishy burp, so it doesn't smell like something fishy. The taste of the Plexus Slim, yummy, yummy, yummy. The taste, the touch, the being able to, what can I do for touch? The body cream, about how smooth it is. You get my feeling on, or my sense of what I'm trying to say on this. But use your senses so that people can put themselves in the situation. The picture you write with words needs to paint a picture in their minds. That's the best type of story. You want them to be able to imagine this even without a picture. This was something that was shared. Ernest Hemingway was asked to write, for those of you who don't know who Ernest Hemingway was, very famous for American writer, no longer with us. But Ernest Hemingway was asked, what's the shortest story that you can write that would convey meaning, that would do all of this, that would could answer all of these questions? And this is what he wrote. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. 6 words. Your story doesn't have to be, 1,000 words. You can do this in a short way of sharing your information. These 6 words speak volumes. People can resonate with this. First time I saw this, got tears in my eyes. This type of thing, you don't need to be able to write an essay or be a journalism major to write a good story about your experience with Plexus. You can do this. Now I want to talk just briefly about your online presence. You want to manage your online presence, so monitor your Facebook or other social media comments. You want to be aware of those and watch what's being said. And you want to respond quickly to negative comments, but not too fast. And the reason why I say not too fast is because, in other words, calm down first. Don't respond, and this can be private messaging too. Don't respond so fast because you feel on the defensive. None of us are exactly alike, and so somebody may say something, and particularly if it's in writing, sometimes it's really hard to get the feeling of what they're trying to say behind what they're trying to say. It may come across as being really critical, but maybe they're really trying to get some additional information. First of all, say thank you for taking the time to respond. People don't have to do that. And so take the time to say thank you for responding. And please, please, please do not get angry, justify, or defend. That's the first thing that, I've seen people do this in both public and private forums, is they get all up in arms. A lot of community pages get like this. Is people take it so danged personally sometimes. Don't do that. You be the mature person in the situation, okay? But don't get angry or try to justify or defend what's going on. First of all, take the conversation offline. Simply say, help me better understand by let's discussing this privately, and let them know, you need to discuss this privately. You don't need to hold this whole thing out, and particularly with Plexus, when we're trying to help somebody find the right products to work for them. We don't need to discuss this on our Facebook pages. We don't need to discuss this on our team pages. This is something that you need to, if you have a question about a product and how it's working with you, talk to your sponsor about that. Don't go on and on a team page about this, because that's something you need to work one-on-one with. It's helping to build that relationship, but everybody's situation is different. It may be that if something's going on with you, it's not going on exactly the same way with somebody else, and those people need to work together. But take it offline and let them know that you're wanting to help them. Don't just say that this is something that you need to figure out on your own, because you're not going to be successful with Plexus if you do that. How you handle a negative comment tells all your future customers all about you. How you handle this on, particularly if it's something that's made a negative comment on your Facebook page, is this gets, this lets other people know how you're going to be able, or how you're going to work with them. And this may be somebody who has never liked or commented a post about on any of your posts. So you need to know how you handle that. Tells those future customers all about you. And remember that you're building relationships before you even know this person. You're building relationships before a first person joins your team, because they are watching to see what you're doing. And you may have people that will watch you for a long time. I've had that with some people that I didn't even know were watching, and they've been watching for the almost year and a half that I've been with Plexus, and they're just now ready to get started. So they're building relationships because people want to work with somebody that they trust. So managing social media, you want to inspire customers. You want to engage with your customers. And it's not the size of the tribe, but how you build relationships with them. It doesn't matter how many people like your page. It's a matter of how you build those relationships with people. You don't need to have a super big team to be successful with Plexus. You need active people who want to work the business. You want your social media posts to direct them to your website, and that does not mean you post your website on social media. You want it's to where that's the next step they want to take, to where they want to know, how do I get started? And then you also want this to also help you make the sale. And you want to look at what's working for you. I talked about that with before, is with your tactics. What's working, what's not. What's getting lots of likes and comments. If you sharing pictures of you having your pink drink while you're working out is getting lots of likes and comments, keep doing that. If you sharing things from your life, stories from what's going on with your life, that people are seeing how the freedom that you have to be able to go do things, and you're not tied to a desk or having to ask off to go do something, let them see that if that's getting lots of likes and comments. Find out which platform works best for you. For most of us, it's Facebook. But if you happen to be a Pinterest person and you're getting a lot of the social media engagement in there, by all means, spend the time on it. Instagram's another one. There are several people on my team that have those particular social media platforms that are working really well for them. Some of those I haven't tried that yet because Facebook's working for me. That doesn't mean I won't ever do it, but it's working well for me, so this is what I'm going to do. Is your content engaging? Are you getting responses back? Would it inspire someone who's never experienced your business to shop there? Would it inspire someone who has never really thought about Plexus to maybe think, hey, maybe this could be for me? With your content, you want to have the rules of thirds. You want to have your content, which is photos, videos, blogs, things that you have written. Curated content is third-party content to share ideas and stories that help people better understand your business. And that can be sharing ideas about, say, blood sugar balance. Maybe there's an article that a medical journal wrote about blood sugar balance, and you decide you want to share it, or something else. I won't say specific things because I want to stay compliant. But if there's something that a Plexus product can help with that you maybe want somebody to be aware that, hey, this could help. Maybe they don't realize there's a connection between blood sugar balance and this particular condition. And you want to help them see that. That's third-party content. Then engagement, personal interaction to build your personal brand, which is usually questions or trivia to get interactions going. So ask a question. Have a quote and ask people what they think about it. Have a picture of you trying to decide, do I want to wear this dress to the winner's dinner? Do I want to wear this dress to winner's dinner? Get some engagement going in that. Social media calendar. This is not something that I have done, but it is something I am definitely considering, because whenever I heard about this the other day, I was like, whoa, this makes so much sense. It helps you to establish accountability. Make sure you're posting. Again, your IPA. Make sure that you're doing posting each day. It helps you to organize your assets. This is where it gets really easy to think, you see this really great post, wow, I want to share that, so you do. And then you go through and see another great post. Oh, wow, I want to share it. And you do. And before long, you've taken like 6 posts and you've shared them right in a row with somebody, and you've essentially thrown up Plexus on them. And that gets old. That doesn't go very well. And even though you're really excited about it, if you see a really great post, make a note of it and plan it to post it another day. You don't have to post it right now. And it's really good, because then if everybody's posting the same thing that day, it's going to start compressing, particularly in Facebook. It's going to start compressing all of that. So you want to take that and share that maybe another day and kind of bring it back up. And then maybe your people say, wait a minute, I've seen that before. And it'll bring their thought back to it. Create consistency. Be consistent in your posting. Figure out what works well as far as a time for you. Maybe it works great for you to post at 8 o'clock in the morning and at noon and at 7 p.m. Maybe that works for you. Maybe for your audience, they are getting off at 3 o'clock. You want to do that. Maybe they're stay-at-home moms, so you want to do it before their kids get home from school. Whatever works for you. You want to track previous posts. Be aware of what was successful, what wasn't. And then it also helps you to maintain sanity, so that you're not feeling like, oh, I've got to post that, oh, I've got to post that, and you've lost control. So a couple of examples, and I know that you can't really see these all that detailed, but it essentially is kind of like the date. You're talking about what the copy is going to be. If there's going to be, the asset would be a picture that you're going to use, what particular, if you're going to use it on Facebook, if you're going to use it on Twitter, if you're using multiple platforms, how are you going to do that? This one was a little bit more of a simple one. So what are you going to post? And these were, like I said, the examples that I got from the tourism presentation. So what are some things that you're going to post that you're going to make sure get covered? You know, maybe you want to do, like we do Testimonial Tuesday. Okay, you want to post about Testimonial Tuesday on Tuesday. You want to do the Throwback Thursday. So maybe you want to do something about maybe something that you were dealing with earlier. However you want to do that, but it helps you to organize it, and I really like that idea. So this has just been a really quick little marketing 101 type crash course about getting your message out with Plexus. And I want you to understand that it does not matter what your background is. With network marketing, anybody can do this. Anybody can be successful. If you knew how many people I've heard who've never thought that they would be able to be successful or have this great, big, huge business, you know, there are just hundreds of those out there. And particularly with Plexus, a lot of us, like I said, we didn't go into this thinking we were going to have a business, but it's turned into one, and it's been amazing. So, but success starts with taking action. You have to take that first step. So you've got to do that. So I will, if you have questions about this, I want you to be thinking about this and to be able to talk with the person who invited you to watch this, so that you can figure out if this is something that you want to do with Plexus, if Plexus is new to you. If you are already an ambassador, start working with your sponsor to have them help you find a way to get to your particular customer base, your particular niche that you want to work with, making things your story. Sometimes it helps to have somebody to bounce ideas off of. And your sponsor, you know, usually has more experience with Plexus, and they can really help you with that. So I encourage you to work with your sponsor. That's what they're here for. And if your immediate sponsor is not working with Plexus, and that happens, then you go to the next person up. And go to the next person up and do that. Work with your power partner. Bounce ideas off of that. I highly encourage you to have a power partner, somebody who's usually about the same rank that you are, that you're kind of helping each other get along there, and because you're usually going through about the same things. So anyway, I want to go ahead and end tonight. I want to thank you for being here. I love doing these. I love having you all attend. And if you have questions about this, please let me know. I'll have this uploaded as a YouTube video, and please feel free to share it. I encourage people to do this, to let people know that Plexus is a very doable business. Our products are amazing. Our products, there's not a single product that we have that that everybody on the planet could use at least one of our products. whether it be a multivitamin, whether it be a probiotic, whether it be something to help with blood sugar balance, weight loss, everybody on our planet Earth needs at least one of our products. So feel free to share with that. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. We'll be back here next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Thank you for being here, and go Plexus. Good night, everybody.